Hello everyone, welcome back to Saddle Up Shooting. I'm Dave Strohmeyer, your host. I get asked a lot of questions about what's your favorite cartridge, what's your favorite caliber, what's your favorite rifle. You know, all of those need to be put into perspective in relationship to what you're going to be doing with it. Whether it's hunting, whether it's just fun shooting at the range, or even if you're up to competition level situations. So it kind of comes down to old versus new, if you will. The legacy cartridges work just fine, and I get a lot of opinions on legacy cartridges because people have had great success with them. And so why change anything? I assure you that really only maybe 3 cartridges, 3 rifles is all somebody really needs for North America. 30-06 Springfield 223 Remington for varmint hunting, and a 12 gauge shotgun for everything in between. Well, today I'm going to let you know about my 2 favorites, old versus new, that are can cover all bases. And I'm going to go over that with you in a minute. So come back, folks. Let's get to shooting. Now, as I stated previously, as a legacy cartridge type of situation, the newer long, lean, high BC bullets are not really designed for these older rifles. This 25-06 is a 1 in 10 twist as an example. And when you get to those long and lean bullets, it requires, in some cases, a 1 in 8, 1 in 7 twist, something like that, for the heavier bullets. So I'm shooting just legacy bullets because that's what this gun was designed for. And if it works, you know, the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. All right, so first up is the nozzlers. And let's see, I'm also testing something else because a lot of people said, oh, you need to foul your chamber to get good shooting. Well, I have not cleaned this barrel since the last time that I shot, so I'm going to see if they're right. Because normally when I come out on a new session, I come out with a cold, clean barrel because that's generally the way I go hunt with one. All right, so everything's okay. Everything's phonograph's on, camera's on. Camera should be on down there. Let's go ahead and see how she shoots. That shot high. I was shooting at the lower target, so you saw where it was. That speed was 3,330 feet per second, folks. All right, so I may need to adjust my scope, but I'm going to go ahead and shoot these 3 because I want to know always where that first shot goes in relationship to the follow-up shots. What happened here? Did I double stroke it? I sure did. Sorry about that. All right, second shot. My bad on that, folks. Yeah, looks like it went right next to the other one. 3363. Now think about that. Fast and flat is what I'm after. So the 25-06 is a great all-around cartridge. At that speed, with this bullet, I've got a very little drop clear out to 400 yards. Maybe 12 inches, maybe a foot is all. So basically I don't have to really know exact distance of the critter. I can basically just hold on and let loose. All right, third shot. Let's see how well I do with the group thing here. It looks like the last two shots were pretty good. 33-30. So I've got a pretty good standard deviation, a pretty good extreme spread, and I know the cartridge and its capabilities out to 400 yards on deer-sized game and below. Now, would I use this rifle for elk? The answer is no. I believe in matching the cartridge to the size of the animal. Elk are tough. They're big animals. So match the cartridge to the critter that you're after. Large for large, medium for medium, small for small. This will cover both small and medium. Yes, there are people that have shot elk. I understand that. Shot placement is everything. But for me personally, if I'm going strictly on an elk hunt, I'm taking a 300 Win Mag. Sorry, not going to apologize. That's what I've had success with. All right, so now let's go ahead and shoot the next three, which will now be those spears that I told you about. Totally different constructed bullet, totally different overall length than the nozzlers. And we're going to see how they shoot. All right, let's see how this does. All right, so you can automatically see that this bullet does shoot lower than the nozzlers, and is faster. 33-74. So bullet length, case overall length, might be something that's real important for bench rush shooters, but I just go by the book and what they've tested, and then kind of play around from there. All right, second shot. .33-78. Okay, looks to be just a little over a half-inch group, 33-44. So now what begs the question is, what bullet of these two does my rifle like the best? Well, I need to shoot more to find that out, but just off this little short test that you're watching, obviously the Sierras with a much shorter case overall length because of the bullet construction. And this is a hot core bullet, which means that it's manufactured not a cup and core bullet like the Nozzler. It's constructed a little bit different. So it's supposed to be a tougher bullet for game. Okay, so let's go ahead and switch over to the next rifle. Okay, up on the bench is my newest rifle, a Uinta Precision UPR 15, chambered in the new 6mm arc. Now this is a contrast to the 25-06. First of all, it's a .243 caliber bullet versus a .256 caliber. Now think about that. That's only one step up for the .256 above the .243. Just one step up. But they are designed for different purposes. First of all, I'll look at the cartridges over here. Now, this was designed by Hornady in 2000 to shoot the longer, leaner, high BC bullets in a short little capacity case, achieve high velocity, maintain that velocity for longer distances out to 1,000 yards in this little bitty cartridge. It's also a great varmint cartridge up to deer, and I have killed 2 bucks with the 6mm arc, and 125 to 180 yards, both of them never went more than 10 feet, and it was quite effective. Alright, but I've gone a little bit beyond what Hornady recommends with the longer high BC bullets. I've actually gone clear down to 70 grain bullet, legacy type bullet, and they shoot well in this. So it's kind of a crossover as well, that you can, in this rifle and in this cartridge, shoot the newer high BC long lean bullets and the short legacy bullets, which is right up my alley because I have more of those than I have the longer, leaner ones. So we're going to prove that point. The first 3 shots is going to be with one of the oldest hunting cartridges there is, or hunting bullet I should say, and that's the Nosler Partition, a 100-grain bullet. Now keep in mind, the 25-06 shot a 100-grain bullet. This is going to shoot a 100-grain bullet. So in terms of bullet weight, they're going to be the same, but the performance is going to be vastly different. And the rifle now, let's talk about that. Look at the setup of the rifle, as opposed to the 25-06, which has a more straight hunter-type profile to where the grip is different. The grip here is more vertical rather than in line with your thumb and your hand like the older legacy type of stocks. This one is based upon an AR-15 type platform and is designed more for the precision type shooter, bench rest type shooter. However, as I told you, this can be a hunting gun. It's just difference in the way it's made up and the weight differential. Both of these rifles, the 25-06 in the Browning BBR and this Uinta Precision, weigh within a half a pound of each other. So that's not an issue. Alright, so let me go down, turn the camera on. Let's go ahead and shoot and compare. I'll have the chronograph on so you'll see there's a tremendous speed differential between the two. But that's where, you know, they're not comparable, okay? They're just not. So don't put that in the comments. I can show them side by side, but they don't equate. They're not the same. Alright, be right back. Alright, here we go. Now these are the 100-grain partition bullets. This is a legacy bullet that can shoot in this cartridge. That's kind of why I like it and why I sort of gravitated towards it. Now understand, this will never replace the 243 Winchester. It's just different. It's efficient for a short, compact cartridge. And it is designed more for, like I said, the competition type shooter. But let's go ahead and see how these shoot. And let's get some speed. Be the target just to the left of the last one or to the right of the last one I shot. This has probably only a third of the recoil of that 25-06. So you just saw it. It shoots really efficiently. Okay, that was 2704 for a 100-grain bullet. That one clear down to 2657. Don't know why. Again, this bullet was set just a little bit longer than where the cantilure is so that I could more fit it to my chambering. Now these chamberings on these new rifles have almost zero tolerance. Their lead, their throat, all of that kind of stuff is designed to fit that 40 degrees shoulder or 35 degree shoulder, rather than the old legacy cartridges with a 20-degree shoulder. Makes a big difference. Alright, third shot with the legacy cartridge, or legacy bullet. Okay, that looks to be similar, half-inch group, and that was 2668. Alright, so now let's go ahead and shoot the bullets that Hornady designed for this cartridge and caliber. And this is the 105-grain Hornady Black. It's a very long and lean. I think I'll show you the picture difference between the two over here so that you can see. Quite a bit difference in overall length and in profile. Even to where the ogive is, and suggested loaded seated length. Oh, the target just above the last one I shot, so you'll see them both and you can compare. .2746. That's a 80 or 90 feet per second faster with the same powder charge, but because of the way the bullet is, it just flies a little bit more efficient. All right, second shot. .2760 again. Third shot. And also about a 1/2 inch group. All right, folks, so, you know, all I can really tell you is that now that I'm retired and I've become more of a student of bullet performance, cartridge performance, rifle setup, I'm really enjoying it, and I encourage you to do the same. So let's get back to the barn. Let's take a look at that target. Let's analyze it, wrap it up. See you soon. Okay, let's go over these targets real quick. Over here's the 25-06, over here's the 6mm arc. Okay, 100 grain nozzler, average 3341, SD of 15.768 group there. Okay, then here's the 100 grain spear hot core, average 3366, SD of 15.733. So real close as far as the group is concerned, but obviously shot placement does make a difference on what bullet that you're using, regardless of the speed differential. Okay, then over here then is the 6mm arc. Here's the 100 grain nozzler partition, average of 2668, an SD of 9, a group size of .745, and you can see that group there. Here's the 105 grain Hornady black, an average of 2763, a little bit faster even though a 5 grain heavier bullet, an SD of 14 and a group size of .700. So folks, just go ahead and shoot the ones you shoot the best. Enjoy them all. That's what you have them for. Work up your loads to fit the animal that you're going to be shooting and have a great time. But no matter what, as always, give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. God bless you all. See you again next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Goodbye.